Hello guys, welcome back to another episode on this house of fashion. Hope you have a wonderful day. Today's episode is going to be on how to cut an airline gown. This airline I'm talking about is of two layers. It has a net at the upper part, ample net that I'll be using for the upper part of the airline gown. So now I'm going to show you how to place this sample net on it. So that is what we're doing here. This is what the main dress is, an airline dress. So this is what we'll be putting on top of it. So the first thing we're cutting here is the fabric, the Ankara fabric. I'm using 4 yards of this Ankara fabric. Then the first thing I'll be doing is to fold it into 2, then I'll fold it into 4 to cut out the A line. So you can see this is into 2, you can see, then into 4 this way. This is what my client brought to me. This is 4 yards of this fabric, and I'm going to use it to cut an A-line with a full sleeve. You can see this the sleeve it has a pleat, so it's a little bit full. So I'm trying to figure out the way I'm going to cut this out for me to be able to cut out the sleeve as it is on the thumbnail. So if assuming I have a normal fabric of 6 yards, I can fold my 4 yards into 4 this way. Then I will be taking my necessary measurement by slanting it down. It's an A-line dress, but since I'm working on 4 yards of this fabric and I want to deduct my sleeve out of it, so I will try to fold it with a slant A-line so that the remaining fabric will be able to cut the sleeve. So if I say I should cut it this way, as it is here, as it is folded into 4, if I say I should be deducting my measurement, the fabric will not be enough to cut the sleeve. So I'll try and slant it so that I can be able to cut out the sleeve as well. You can see now, by slanting it out this way, I should be able to use the remaining fabric to cut out the sleeve. You can see. So you can see it's of 2 ways now. You can fold your fabric equally to cut out your A-line, and you can as well slant it this way to cut out your A-line. So the next thing I'll be taking is the length of the dress. The length of the dress is 1 tape. The actual length is 1 tape. Then I'll be adding a seam allowance of 2 inches to it. So this is where the length is going to be now. So the first thing I'll be doing here is the back is 17 inches. I'll be using 17 inches for the back. So this is 8.5 in 2 places is going to give us 17 inches. So with a shoulder slant of 1 inch, then I'll be connecting it to the center here. So the next thing to take the measurement of here is the armhole. The armhole measurement here, I'll be using 8 inches. The armhole is 16 inches. Then from the armhole, I'll be taking my half cut. The half cut is 15.5 inches. So from the half cut, I'm going to determine the hip measurement, since I'm not folding it equally into 4. So that we can be on a silver side. So I must determine my hip measurement. So this is determination of the hip point. You can see. So from the hip point here, I'm going to take my hip measurement. So the actual hip measurement is 40 inches, and you can see we still have enough measurement here. You can see this is 40 inches. This is 10 in 4 places to give us 40 inches. So this is okay. It's an A-line, don't forget. So the bust measurement is 42 inches. That's 10.5 in 4 places is going to give us 42 inches with a seam allowance of 1.5 inches. You can see. So here also the waist measurement is 36 inches. 36, that's 9 in 4 places. It's going to give us 36 inches with a seam allowance of 1.5 inches. So I'm going to connect the lines together. Then this is where the connection is. I'm going to connect it up to the shoulder. So this is from the shoulder to the armhole, you can see, to the armhole to the half cut. Then you're going to slant it down to the main length. So you can decide to use your ruler to slant it down to the main length this way, or you cut it by slanting your hand. If your hand is straight, cut it by slanting your hand to the down part. So the next thing here is to cut it out. So I will start it from this area. So you can see what I did here. If I should cut it straight, like the way it was slant, this area, the front side will be longer. It should be touching the ground. That's why I decided to just 1.5 inches from it, that I cuff it to this area. So after this, now the next thing that I mean here is to cut out the down part with this also. So the edge part of this fabric is going to be at the upper part here. You can see. So I'll be folding this into two as well. Then I'm going to place it here. So the length at which this is going to be on the fabric is going to be 20 inches. So the length at which this sample net is going to be on this fabric is going to be 23 inches, because by the time we fold in this at the down part, it has an allowance of 2 inches, don't forget. So by the time I fold it in here, it's going to be, the length of this now is going to be 20 or 20.5 inches. It depends on how the finishing is going to be. But using 23 inches here, by the time we fold in the down part, we stitch the shoulder, everything is going to end to 20 inches, so probably 20 inches or 21 inches. So that is what I'll be cutting out now. So this is how it's going to be. This is going to be at the front only. You can try to put it at the back as well. It depends on your fabric. But here we're going to place it at only the front. For the neckline, I want to deduct the neckline out. But this has a standing collar. That means your neckline, any neckline with a standing collar or a collar will not be too wide, and it's not going to be too low. So here I'm making use of 2.5 inches for the wideness of the neck. 2.5 inches. Then the deepness of the neck at the front is going to be 2 inches, and the deepness of the neck at the back is going to be 1 inch. So then I'll be connecting the lines together like this. So the next thing for me here is to cut it out. Then you can now open it to cut the front neck. So you can see, so at the back here I'm going to fold it into two, then I'm going to slant it down because it has a zip at the back. So I'll be slanting it down to this 18 inches. So the allowance at which I'm going to put my zip is not going to affect the main allowance of the book because I've had enough allowance to it. So by the time you are folding your own, leaving zip allowance aside, but it's because the fabric is not enough. I'm trying to minimize the fabric, that's why I cut it out this way. Still yet it's not going to tight. We're still going to have our main measurement. So I'll be slanting it down up to this length from here. I'm stopping here. So this is the back. So we're done with the body. So the next thing that remains is to cut out the sleeve. So I'll be folding this fabric into 4 to cut out the sleeve. You can see this into 4 equally. Then I'm going to take the length of the sleeve. The sleeve length is going to be 13 inches. It's going to be 13 inches for the sleeve length. This is 13 inches. Then before you can fold the fabric into 4, you have to know the wideness of the arm. That's the wideness of the sleeve. So you have to know the wideness of the sleeve. The wideness of the sleeve here is 15 inches. So I have allowance of 1.5 inches. So it's still okay. Then at this area here, the wideness of the sleeve is 13 inches. So I'm going to add around of 1.5 inches to it. So, and I'm connecting it together. So the next thing here is to cut it out. By the time I cut it, I'm going to see it properly. This is the sleeve we're going to use. We're going to notch the center here. You can see. So we're done with the sleeve. For the next part of the sleeve, it's going to be full. This is into 2, then into 4. This is into 4. So since I make use of 13 inches at the sleeve, I'm making use of 15 inches here. I'm making use of 16 inches here. The 13 inches at the sleeve, I'm making use of 16 inches here. So this is 16 inches. So you're going to have a plate at the upper part too. The plate at the upper part too. So this is 16 inches. 16 inches. 16 inches. So I'm going to connect all the lines together. No, what we use at the down part at the sleeve at the Ankara fabric was 6.5, that is 13 inches. So we have this is 6.5 for the Ankara. So we have this remaining length for the pleat to make the pleat around the down part. So I'm going to show you everything when I'm sewing it out. It has a yoke at the upper part of the dress. So this is what you're going to use. This is what you're going to use to make a yoke. So I'll be folding this fabric into two. So the yoke is only at the front. It's going to be at the front. So I'll be bringing the front part of the dress out. So now, to cut out the yoke at the upper part, you're going to place the fabric on this. Then you take the necessary measurement. The measurement we'll be using here from this shoulder is going to be 6.5 inches. So by the time you fold it up, it's going to be 6 inches. So at this length here, at the front here, I'm going to make use of now this is 6.5. This is 6.5 inches, right? So 6.5 inches to this area. So this is 6.5 inches. I'm going to make it a straight line here. So this is where we're going to, after placing it, taking your necessary measurement, the next thing is to cut it out. So I'm just trying to make this area equal. This is the front yoke, you can see. So this is a straight cut. The wideness is 5 inches. When I fold it into two, is 2.5 inches, as you can see here. So by the time I stitch it and I turn it, it's going to be 2 inches. I'll be using half inch to stitch it. Then after that, I'll place it at the front like this. Just make it, don't make it equal. This is how to place it. Just want it by folding it. Then you're going to place it at the neckline as it is on the picture. So this is how you're going to place it. So I can try to reduce this length if I see it's too long. So but after reducing the length, if you want to place it like this, then you stitch it at the neckline. So let me go and stitch everything. Then I'm going to show you as it is going. Then I'm also going to show you the finishing. So welcome back. This is the finishing of the sleeve. This is how to attach the two fabric together, the net fabric, the sample net fabric, and the Ankara fabric. So the first thing I did here is I make a pleat. You know what we cut at the net fabric is bigger than that of Ankara fabric. So I use the sample net fabric to make a pleat around the Ankara. You can see it. Then I turn into the other side like this. You can see. So this is the right side of the net fabric that is going to be at the top. This is the wrong side of the Ankara that is going to be at the back. So after this now, then I make a pleat at the upper part here. The upper part is also bigger. I use this to make a pleat around the upper part too. You can see the way I did it. So the next thing here is just to fold it like this, then attach it to the armhole. You can see it. So this is now the sleeve. So the same thing applicable to the other one too. The next thing I mean here is the down part of the dress. This is what we cut out. You can see this is the down part and this is the upper part. So I've used this net fabric to turn the Ankara from the one side to the right part of the Ankara. You can see that I place it on it. You turn it from the back here, turn it to the right side of the Ankara, so that this is going to stay on the Ankara, not at the back of the Ankara. You can see it, and this is the upper part. So this is the front. So the next thing that remains at this front is to join the yoke. So this is the yoke part of the upper part, you can see. So before I can join this yoke, I'm going to bias this area. I'm going to make a bias, or you can as well tape it in, but if you're making use of a bias, it will make it neat. The next thing that I made is to join the back to the front, you can see. So the next thing that I made here is to join the back to the front like this. Then after that, this is the rope that we cut out, and I've already turned it to the white part. So just for me to iron it, then join it at the upper part here. You can see this is the way we're going to. This is the way I say we're going to attach it to this area. So by the time I join the back to the front, then join the sleeve, then we're going to put this as well. So I'm going to show you the finishing. So let me go and do the finishing and show it to you. Welcome back. After joining all the cuttings together, from the body to the yoke to the sleeve and all these net lace, you can see the way I joined the sample net lace with the Ankara fabric. Now the way you cut it was, the sample net lace is bigger than this Ankara. Then we make use of this net lace, split it around the Ankara. You can see it. That is what make it to give out this shape. You can see it now, and it is longer than the Ankara, don't forget. And at this area too, that is what we did here also. And at the yoke side, we just place it at this area, this chest line. I just place it. You can see it. You can see the shoulder, from the shoulder to the length of the yoke. So I just place it here. I make use of bias. I bias it first, then I place it directly on the Ankara. Then I place it directly on the chest here. So this is the bow. You can see the bow. After turning it, after stitching it, I turn it to the right side. Then I attach it. I make one longer than the other. You can see. You can see this one is longer, and you can see this. So then I stitch it around this area. So you can tie the bow. You can tie it and style it the way you want. You can see. So this is the pocket. You tie the pocket. To achieve this pocket, after the waist measurement, then you have 2 inches to, then you start to put your pocket in. As you can see, it's not immediately the waist, it's 2 inches below the waist, and that is what I've done here. And this is the back. There's a zip at the back, because my own here I didn't put zip at the front because my client doesn't want zip at the front. That's why I decided to put it at the back. So if you want to put yours at the front, you can also cut it, then put your zip at the front here. But here I didn't put my zip at the front, I put it at the back here. So what I did is just to slit it down, because I didn't take any allowance of that. So I just slit it down, then I insert my zip. So at the collar here, you can see you're still seeing if Ankara fabric inside the collar. The way I did for the sleeve, that is the way I did for the collar also. I cut out a sample net and also Ankara. You can see then I used this Ankara to do a facing to this sample net, and then I attach it to the collar. So just for it to have the same shape as if it has a zip at the front, that's why I just decided to cut this fee, a little fee, then I cut it out at the front. Then I bias it so as to make it neat, then I attach my collar. You can see. So the reason why we cannot cut out the collar down is that we don't know the length of the collar. It's after when you attach the 2 shoulders, that is when you now know the roundness of the neck. Then you cannot cut your collar. So the length of the collar here is 2 inches. I make use of 2 inches. Then after stitching it, it ends to 1.5 inches. So at the front of the collar here, just make a cuff. When you place your 2.5 inches, then where you want to attach with the front, just cuff your hand like this. You can see where I cuff it, so to bring out this shape. So, and that is the end of the class. Actually, for those people watching me for the first time, make sure you subscribe to my channel for more tutorials, because we're still going to upload more tutorial. So you have to subscribe to my channel, and you have to on your notification bell, so whenever I upload my tutorial, then you'll be notified. See you in my next class. Bye.